What's up, my reseller friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Sabrina. I thrift to resell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari. And this video is going to be all about stuffed animals, why I like to source them, a few tricks and tips, and most importantly, how to get these listed very quickly. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you everything that I know about listing stuffed animals. So I love to source stuffed animals. And the main reason why is because they are really easy to find. You can source stuffed animals all day. Trust me, they're all over Facebook Marketplace. They're at yard sales, they're at estate sales, they're at thrift stores. Everywhere you go, there's stuffed animals. So it's just something that's just always there. It's always available. And there's so many of them that are actually worth pretty good money. So the first tip that I would tell you is just learn stuffed animals. Do your research, find out which ones sell, which ones people are looking for. I wish I could sit here and give you like a secret formula, but there really isn't one. This is just one of those things you just got to learn on your own. I have joined some Facebook groups that are all about like stuffed animal bolos. So those are really fun. I'm always seeing other stuffed animals that other resellers are selling and how much they get for them. And then also a lot of it's just trial and error, just picking up these at yard sales, because a lot of times people are basically just giving them away. People want to get rid of their stuffed animals. So just trial and error. I will tell you two of the main things that I look for, and that is for characters of like a cartoon or a movie, and then also vintage. So those are like the two main things that I look for, but there's just so much out there to learn about stuffed animals, and they're really easy to ship unless they've got something on them that can get damaged in shipping. Like maybe sometimes like they'll have like a straw hat or some sort of accessory attached to it that could get damaged if smashed. But otherwise, like something like this, that's just straight up a plush, I'll just throw something like this into a poly bag. So it doesn't really take too much effort to ship. Or if it's a really expensive plush, even if it's just like, let's say this sold for $100, I would definitely ship it in a box. But it's, for the most part, it's really easy to ship stuffed animals. But I will say the thing that I don't like about selling stuffed animals is storing them. It's super frustrating. So basically what I do is I just do a bin system. So I've got about maybe 6 or 7 bins that are designated for just stuffed animals, and each bin is labeled, and I put that in my SKU on eBay, which bin it's in. That way when it sells, I just know which bin to go into. That's how I do it for the stuffed animals. But they do take up a lot of space, especially this guy. He takes up a lot of space. He's pretty big. So when I do list him, I'm probably going to list him on the lower side because I do want him to sell fast, because I do not like holding on to larger items for a long period of time. So right now I have this bag that's got maybe about seven stuffed animals in here. And what I like to do is I like to list all my stuffed animals at once. So let's say I'm outsourcing and I find 2 stuffed animals at the thrift store. I'm gonna hold on to them until I have a nice little stack of stuffed animals. That way I could just list them all at the same time. It's just way faster that way. And like I said, I'm always picking up stuffed animals, so they do accumulate pretty quickly. And I am trying to get through my my pile of inventory. I like to call it my money pile, not my death pile, because I'm trying to get through as much as I can, as quickly as I can anyways. But yeah, this is a great bag to get rid of out of that pile. So I'm gonna go ahead and list these stuffed animals, but I'm gonna take you along with me and show you my process, how I do it. And I'm just going to say that I am selling stuffed animal plush toy doll. Search. Every stuffed animal I have is used. So I'm going to go through and select what I want each of these listings to have on them. And if anything's going to be different, then I'm going to leave that blank for now. So all of these are going to be 523. So I have a category of May. I just like to separate my listings by month and year. That's what helps me determine if I should put something on sale or if I should, or if I'm willing to drop the price, basically. So these all have different brands, so I'll leave that alone for now. Yeah, all of these are probably going to have to be left alone. Buy it now price will stay the same. I'm going to turn off offers just for now. And I'm going to leave, oh no, I'm going to put this at 12 ounces for now. I'm going to put it at free shipping. And everything else looks good. Save for later. All right. So here is my draft. And I have, let me see how many stuffed animals I have. So I have 9. So I'm going to select this draft that I just made and create copy. And I'm going to do 8. Since there's already one made, that makes it a total of 9. What the hell? There they are. I think eBay just glitched out for a second. Okay, so I have all of my drafts already made. So that's pretty cool. Now what I'm gonna do is take photos. So the reason why I like to take the photos before I make the listing is because when I'm taking photos, that's when I'm noticing if there's any flaws. So I hate when I make the listing and then I go to take the photos and then I notice some flaws and then I got to go back to the listing to edit it. So I take the pictures first. So that's going to be the next step. And you can never take too many photos. I like to take as many photos as possible. Buyers like to see lots of photos. And sure enough, as I was taking pictures, I found that this little flaw right here. So it gives me an opportunity to see if I can clean this up before listing that there's a little stain on it. So as you can see, it did clean up very nicely. I just used some dish soap and water, but if this stuffed animal was more dirty, I would not be worried about washing it. I wash stuffed animals all the time. Sometimes, depending on the stuffed animal, if it seems a little bit more delicate, I'll use this bag that my mom gave me. It's like this little mesh bag that you can use to put items in here that are just a little bit more delicate, and you just throw it in the washing machine. You can use it in the dryer too as well. I use this often with stuffed animals. So I have 2 windows open. I have the internet browser and I have Finder. I do use Apple computers to do my listings. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how I upload the pictures. So I did airdrop all my photos onto my computer. So they're all in here. And I just noticed that it's faster to upload the pictures this way versus doing them on the phone, because that's how I used to do them. I would take the pictures on my phone, go into the draft, upload the pictures directly on my phone, but it's so slow that way. And I just noticed that this way is much faster. So I'm going to go ahead and show you. So there is all these listings that I have in these drafts are not designated to any plush yet. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload each stuffed animal to a draft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select each one. And I'm going to select resume drafts. And then I'm going to come over here to photos. And I'm just going to drop them all in. This one's a little bit messed up right now, the first picture, because I have some stuff for this video saved on here. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the ones I need. I'm going to drop them in. But look at how fast that goes. I love it. And then I'm going to delete the pictures from my Finder, move to trash. So those ones are gone. Save and next. I'm just going to select the next plush. I took a lot of pictures of the puppy surprise because she was kind of dirty and I didn't feel like cleaning her. So yeah, sometimes you gotta pick and choose which items you think are worth putting time in to make them nice. A lot of newer toys really aren't. You just list them for cheap, sell them fast, and let the buyer do the cleaning. But I always do clean them, but I'm just talking about like detailed cleaning. This one was also a little bit dirty. I was able to spot treat him, but he didn't get completely clean. So I am going to have to disclose that. You can kind of see it right here. I can hear my mail lady on the porch picking up my packages. She's so awesome. She scans them as she picks them up. I love her so much. I don't know what I would do without her. So I think this way is just so much faster than doing it all on your phone. This is a little, what were these one called? The pound puppies, the vintage ones from when we were kids. But I think this one's a cat. All right, so that's it. All the pictures are already uploaded. The pictures are uploaded, and I already know which bin each one of these plushes are going in. So I'm just gonna put those in now. And you can come up here to customize your columns and you can choose which types of columns you want shown on here. But I'm just gonna go ahead under custom label. I'm gonna put the bin. So actually, I'm going to go right here. The Minecraft one is a no bin. It's too big. It's not going to fit. The Peanuts bird. This is going to be bin 10. So the next step is I am going to use Google Lens to look up the names of some of these items that I don't know. I do know most of them, but like I know that these two right here are the top two ones are Pokemon, but I'm not a Pokemon person, so I'm not quite sure on the names of these characters. And those types of details are really important when you're listing plush. You want to know all the details and put all the details in the title. Don't just put Pokemon plush or like blue Pokemon plush. You got to put the name of the character. And then you also, if you've got the measurements, put the measurements in there. All these little details that you could put for each plush is really going to help you to sell it. So first I'm going to go on to Google Lens. I'm going to get the details I need. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to fill out titles. Now, you may be thinking, and I know that there's definitely people watching this video and thinking this, Sabrina, just do sell similar. It's a way faster. Now, okay, I do agree that sometimes sell faster, or I do believe that sell similar can be faster, and I do it all the time. However, I try not to do it as much as possible. And there's a few reasons why. The main reason is because there is so much opportunity for error when you do it. There was one time where I sold, I think it was a skirt, and I put on there, it said in the specs that it was it had elastic, but it didn't have elastic. But I didn't realize that because I did sell similar and I just didn't catch that. And there's just, even if someone's selling the same exact item as you can't trust that they're going to have all the right information in there. There's so many times where I do catch errors and have to go in and fix. So every time I do sell similar, I always have to go through and look to make sure everything's right anyways. So if that's the case, I kind of feel like, well, I might as well just fill it out. Right. And now I know that I'm putting in the right information. It's a fresh item. Because when you do sell similar, you don't know how many times someone's hit sell similar on that listing. It could be a sell similar from sell similar from sell similar from sell similar. I like to just have mine as like a fresh, unique listing. And some people are going to put sell similar on mine and they're going to use all my information. And you know what? That's fine. I don't really care. So I'm just going to go ahead and, like I said, I'm going to do some Google Lens searching real quick. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to work on the titles. All right. So now I know what everything is. So I'm just going to input the description. So we'll do this one first. Actually, let's do the Minecraft one because that's the one that's on the top of my list. It's better to go down the list than to have to just keep, looking back and forth. They're not always going to be in order what my list is and what it shows the order is on my screen. So this is a Minecraft box. Box buddy. Actually, we're going to say buddy pillow. And he is 19 inches. All right, I think I'm just going to leave it at that for now. So that's the first one. So I'm just going to go through and do all of them, and then I'll be back. All right, so I went ahead and I put in all the titles. And I also, while I was doing the titles, I put in the price. So I don't know if you want to take a quick look at everything I did. So it turned out that I actually miscounted and I didn't have 9 plush. I only had 8. So there is an extra one in here. But yeah, so I went ahead, I filled out the titles. And then for pricing, the way I figure out pricing for plush, one, I've been listing a lot of plush for a few years now. So I kind of just know more or less what I want to list something at. But then if I don't know, I will just look up the item on eBay. I'll search by lowest listing or lowest price listing. And I try to be very competitive with the lowest price. I'm not necessarily a fan of race to the bottom. So I don't always try to be the lowest, but I try to be within the lowest. So like, let's say someone's doing a search for something and they search lowest price first. I want to be one of the first listings that come up. So that's how I do that. I do look at sold comps, but maybe this makes me a bad reseller, but I don't always look at sold comps because I just feel like anything will sell on eBay. So I just always kind of like, to me, the most important part is looking at what my competitors are listing their items for and trying to be competitive with that pricing. Now, if there's only a few items available and all the pricings are really high, then I'll look at solds. And like, let's say there's like 3 people selling something that's for $50, but when I look at sold, none have sold, then I know that it's not going to be worth 50 because no one's paid that. But when comps are all over the place, I like to just be really competitive. And again, I do look at sold comps, but that's not the most important thing that I look at. All right, so I've got all my pricing, I've got my pictures, I got my title. So really the only thing that's left to do is the item specs. And then also I did just put all of these listings are set that they weigh 12 ounces. So I know that not all of these are going to weigh 12. There's going to be some that are going to be less or higher. So I am going to go through, add in the specs. I'm going to go through and update the weight, and then the listing was going to be ready to go. And that's all you got to do. So I know it kind of seems like a long process because I'm talking about it as I go along. But really, if I was just doing this without making a video and without any sort of distractions, this whole process would probably take me about an hour to complete, which I think isn't too bad, especially for being attention to detail and making sure you've got some good listings. So I actually thought we'd do one of those listings together. So I'm going to do save for later. So now these are all saved in my draft bank. And let's see, which one do I want to do? Let's do Woodstock. All right, so here we go. This is going to be super fast. I love right here how they do the list faster and then you can select these. I think these are all perfect. So I'm going to hit select all. Peanuts. Okay. Yeah, everything's good. So I'm going to weigh it. I have my scale right here. All right, so I'm going to change this to 8 ounces. Now you may ask, Sabrina, why does that make a difference? Can't you just leave it at 12? Well, I like to make it be right because if somebody's looking at this, even though I'm offering free shipping, if somebody is buying this internationally and they're using the international service, I don't even know what they call it anymore, on eBay's going to charge them more for shipping if I have it listed at 12 when it's only 8. And I do get a lot of international buyers. So I like to keep it at the right weight. And everything's good to go. And all I have to do, I'm not going to list it yet. So I'm just going to put save for later, but you could list it right then and there and it's done. So yeah, there you go. And then I just go through and do all of these just to pretty much just put in the last few specs and just clean it up and make sure it looks good. And if there is any flaws, I'll go ahead and put that in the description. And yeah, I think we're all set. Like I said, this whole process probably would take me about an hour to do. And that includes looking up comps, taking the photographs, airdropping the photographs and uploading them, doing all that stuff. And then I'm going to just put these all away in their right bins. And these will get listed throughout the week. I do all my listing in the morning. So whatever I do one day, like I'll do as many as I can. And then the following day, I will list 10 of the items that I have in my draft bank. And then I do 10 every day. So even the days I don't work, like Saturday and Sunday, I'll list the 10. So I always have to try to make more than 10 listings a day. That way I'll have listings to upload when I'm on days that I'm not working. So my advice is if you're interested in trying stuffed animals, give it a try. Some of them can sell really fast, some of them don't, but they're still really easy, fun items to sell. And never overpay for a plush without looking it up first, because sometimes you may think that a particular plush is going to be worth a lot and it's really not. So you just got to educate yourself and make good choices. So I hope you found this video helpful in any way at all. If you did, please help me out by liking this video. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and never forget, when you thrift upon a star, all your dreams will come true. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.